How are
Thank you
you?
so much. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. We're excited to have you today. We've been awaiting this moment.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to have this conversation. It's a lot we're going to share about funnels and ads and automation. So I just want to thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, for sure. I'm going to turn it over to you and you can take the stage.
All right, great. So let me share my screen. 1 second, y'all. Uh, 1 second. Too many tabs open. Right. All right, can everybody see my screen? Just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Times where I've done presentations and I'm like halfway through, we're like, oh, we can't see you, we can't see your screen, everything. All right, good. So again, I'm so excited to be here. Taylor, thank you so much. And Taylor and the entire TBS team. So definitely just give them a round of applause for just putting on this amazing summit and just, allowing so many people to just share so many gems with y'all. I don't think you'll understand like the value that we're actually bringing to everyone. So definitely just want to say first and foremost, thank you so much for that. So this presentation is called From Marketing to Close Card, the ultimate guide for creating a sales funnel that converts into cash. So a lot of times when I present, a lot of people don't necessarily know what a sales funnel is. Some people do, some people don't. But I always just love to share this because everyone pretty much knows what a funnel is. You just may not know it in context. And, this is very important for everything that you do as entrepreneurs because our marketing, our sales, our digital advertising, that is the lifeblood of our business. That's how we bring revenue in. That's how we bring customers in. That's how we're able to pay our team and even have a business to do operations for is bringing in new business, bringing in leads, bringing in clients. So again, Taylor, thank you so much for the amazing introduction. So again, my name is Ryan McCrary. I'm a former licensed investment broker turned sales funnel expert, also known as the funnel doctor. I've taught thousands of students online, worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs in the e-com space, information products, service-based business, a lot of travel companies, professional services, lawyers, doctors, accountants, and so forth. Work with countless 6- and 7-figure companies and have a strong passion for teaching online sales and marketing to other entrepreneurs. So what is a sales funnel? Again, people always ask me, like, what is the actual definition of a sales funnel? Like, how do I know if I have one, if I need one, and so forth? So the formal definition is basically a step-by-step process that allows you to bring your potential customer one step closer to your offer and a buying decision through a series of marketing actions like automated emails, videos, articles, landing pages. Here's the key. That will do the selling for you. So how many of you would like a system that will sell for you? Let us know in the chat. You can raise your hand and so forth. I'm gonna raise my own hand. You also may hear, you may also hear referred to as the customer journey. And there are several steps to a funnel. So there's the top, middle, bottom. We won't go into all the nuances just for time's sake today, but it's basically a step-by-step process that allows you to sell your products and services. Now, I know when I first got started in business, I didn't think about what I offered as an actual system. I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I was passionate about. I knew what product or service I wanted to offer, but I didn't think about it like an actual system. From people actually saying, I'm interested, raising my hand, to actually becoming a paying customer. And that's what your funnel does. It brings them through a system, a process where you can collect leads and sales on demand. So here's what we'll cover during this training, the true definition of a sales funnel and the breakdown, which I kind of already talked about a little bit. Why you must build your list 24/7, how to acquire more customers, paid traffic and retargeting, and how to analyze your funnel to know if it's working or not. So just a little bit more about my backstory. Now, when I first got started, I knew nothing about sales and marketing. I never sold anything online. I do not come from an entrepreneur family. So how many of us that don't come from entrepreneur families, where the stuff we go through as entrepreneurs and the challenges, we can't always share that with everyone. Not everyone gets it. Not everyone understands. Also, when I started, I had no startup capital, no investors, no angel investors, no crowdfunding. I've never been on Shark Tank, but I can definitely say that online sales and marketing has changed my life. Learning these principles and these systems and everything is literally life-changing. And when you do this stuff when you do this stuff the correct way, it is very, very effective. Also gave me the ability to be profitable. So step number one to me is definitely about truly knowing your customer avatar. If you don't know who you're speaking to, what their pain points are, what their challenges are, all your marketing, your messaging, your storytelling, everything will be confusing. So you need to know who is your ideal customer, demographically and psychographically. So demographics, of course, are age, gender, socioeconomic status, but sometimes more important than that is the actual psychographics. So like, how do they feel when they come to you? What are their challenges? What state of mind are they in, and so forth? Now, if you're not clear on this, again, your marketing messaging will be confusing, and we all know that a confused mind does not buy. You also want to think about, like, what are your avatar's biggest pain points? So it definitely goes to the pain points. I truly believe as entrepreneurs, we're not necessarily salespeople. We're solving a major problem in the marketplace. Now, again, think about, what problem does your business solve? People buy from brands that they know, like, and trust. I truly believe it's the one of the most important parts of doing business. And if you are trying to market and sell to everyone, you're essentially selling to no one. You need to be crystal clear on who you're going after. The true definition of a sales funnel in the breakdown. So here are some examples of sales funnels. So every time someone says, well, I don't know what a funnel is, I don't know what sales funnel is, I always say, you know what it is, you just don't know it in context, because every single person in this world has already been through a funnel where someone's trying to get money from you. So think about it with an airline ticket. Every time you go buy an airline ticket, there is always some type of upgrade, something else that they want you to get. So you can see, you may just want a seat in coach, but it's always like, well, why don't you upgrade to first class? If you ever fly Delta, they got a million different options. It's like basic cabin, main cabin, comfort plus, then it's first class, then it's like priority, it's like all this other stuff. And in addition to that, they're always asking you, well, do you want trip insurance? You know you want to protect your trip. Do you want a rental car? Do you want a hotel? Like, there's a lot of other things they try to offer you. The main goal of that is to increase the cart value. So they're trying to increase the average order value. So when you spend, you don't just spend with them, they're trying to maximize the amount that you spend with them. Now, if we bring it offline, because it does work offline as well, think about a dentist office. So every time you go into a dentist office, every time you're in there, you'll see they're always trying to get you into other stuff. So you may go for like your regular cleaning or, free cleaning or whatever. But as soon as you're in there, they're always trying to get x-rays. Like, it's always something else. They're trying to get you into the next thing that they can bill your insurance for. So it's like, well, you got a free cleaning. Why don't you get a deeper cleaning? Why don't you get a retainer? Why don't you get some cavities filled? Why don't you get a root canal? Like, whatever it is. Now, hopefully they're not trying to offer you something that you don't need, but it's just not about getting your regular cleaning all the time. They definitely always do that. So think about GoDaddy. So if you ever bought a domain from GoDaddy, which I have many a time, it is a gauntlet trying to get out of the checkout. They got like a lot of things that they offer you. It's like, you got whatever.com. Why don't you get .org? Why don't you get .co? Why don't you get an email account? Why don't you get like 11 other things that you need? They're always trying to upgrade the cart value. Vistaprint is another one. If you ever went to buy anything, a business card or whatever from Vistaprint, they're always trying to upsell you into something else as well. So it's like, you got business cards for $9.99. Why don't you get, instead of getting, 250 of them, why don't you get 500? Why don't you get a placeholder for them? Why don't you get a mouse pad? Why don't you get, like, they do websites, actually, they do t-shirts, like a whole bunch of other stuff. Again, they're bringing you through the funnel to get you to buy other stuff. So it's about getting upsells, downsells, other add-ons, so they can increase the average order value. Let me know if this makes sense. Trying to go to the next slide. Screen and freeze. There we go. All right, so next is the two-step tripwire funnel. So don't be confused by the name. It's kind of like offering a low price product just to get people in the door, and then you sell them other stuff on the back end. So you may see people do like free books or free plus shipping, just cover the shipping. And the goal of that is to get you into the funnel, and they sell you other stuff on the back end. So I know we have ran this funnel before. So it was like years ago when I had a book, when I was doing financial stuff. So it was like a book, and then we offered our coaching program and a course and a lot of other stuff on the back end just to get you in the funnel. Here's an example of an order bump. So this is just a one-click upsell. When you're checking out, you literally can just click a button and add that to the order. And the goal is to make it very, very easy. There's tons of times where I go online, I'm looking at people's websites, their funnels, their landing pages, and I got to click like 15 different things before I can actually buy. The next click is me going to click off. So you want to make it very easy and seamless for people to check out. Also, this is similar to in person if you're ever in the grocery store. And you're in a grocery store, like you're checking out, you're in the checkout line. There's always like a lot of stuff in the checkout line. And that is strategically placed there. It's there for a reason. So it's like chips, soda, candy, magazines. So if you're checking out and your kids with you or whatever, they're like, oh, can I get these chips? Can I get this soda? Can I get this candy? It's like whatever it is, it's strategically placed there because you're already checking out. You already got stuff there. Now you can just throw that stuff into the cart. Again, that increases the average order value. So that is an in-person order bump or online order bump like this is just like a one-click upsell. Here's another example of how you can just add this to your order. Now, this is key. Your funnel is not just about what software platform you use. People ask me this all the time. Should I use ClickFunnels? Should I use Kartra? Should I use Shopify? Should I use Leadpages? Like a million different platforms and like, what should I use? That is the wrong question. The first thing is you want to understand your sales process. Like, what is the journey? What is the process? How are people first introduced to your product or service? What do they need after that? Like, think about the actual journey, the ladder, the actual sales process, and then think about, you know, what is the best platform based on my process, based on my business, based on my product or service. Think about the platform secondary, but I literally get this question all the time. You also want to think about your customer life cycle. Again, definitely your average order value, and then your customer lifetime value. So like when someone spends with you, how long do they actually stay as an actual customer? You also want to know your cost to acquire a customer. Now, let us know in the chat, who knows what their cost to acquire a customer is? Now, I present a lot of times, a lot of places, and not enough people actually know their acquisition costs. So you definitely want to know your acquisition costs. Whether you're spending money on online ads or not, there's always an acquisition cost. So if you are, you know, spending your time, you may, let's say, oh, I'm a solopreneur, I don't have a team, I don't have anything, so I don't have any acquisition costs. Well, you still have time. So are you taking time to get customers? If you have a team that's out there, you know, getting customers or you're paying them to do stuff, there's always acquisition costs. If you go to an event or a conference or wherever and you get customers from there, but there's always a cost associated with that. So whether that's a ticket price, travel, hotel, whatever it is, there are always acquisition costs for acquiring customers, and you definitely want to think about that as well. Now, here are some of the different types of sales funnels. So we'll be able to go into like all of them in detail, but definitely just want to, you know, bring them to your attention. The first one is a lead magnet funnel. So that is basically where you're generating leads. You're getting something of value in exchange for people's name, email, phone number, or other information you may want to collect. A tripwire funnel, a product funnel, a webinar funnel, online challenge funnel, a high ticket funnel. There are so many different funnels out there. Now, why you must build your list 24/7. So list building is extremely important. You've got to build your list. The reason why a lot of businesses struggle because they don't have enough people on their actual list. Likes do not pay the bills, sales do. So I say this because, especially when it comes to social media and people online, too many times people are worried about the wrong stuff. So like, oh, I got likes, I got shares, I got comments. It's like, that ain't gonna pay your bills. Last time I checked, if I go into the bank and I fill out a deposit slip and I want to deposit the 10,000 likes I got on Instagram, they will gladly kick me out the bank. So when we're measuring success online, it is about leads and sales. How many leads did we bring in? How many sales did we close? How many customers did we get? That's how we measure our return on investment, not the other stuff that people get caught up in. All right. So again, your customer list or your email list is the backbone of your entire business, in my opinion. Again, if you need to do this, you want to do it through a lead generation funnel. If you have no funnel, this is where you start. Again, a lead funnel is basically something of value that you give to collect name, email, phone number, maybe other information you want to collect that's going to help you segment people. And again, if you have no funnel, this is what you start with. If I ain't got no funnel, I'm just starting out, whatever, you start with a lead generation funnel, something that's going to bring you leads on a consistent basis. Now, once people join your list, then you convert them into customers, and it's much easier to sell something to someone once you build the relationship with them. So a lot of people are trying to monetize too early. It's kind of similar to dating. So someone is first introduced to your business, they may not be ready to buy from you because they don't know you. So if that's like trying to marry someone on the first date and they don't know you, they need to get to know you. You need to build a relationship with them. You need to nurture them and so forth. So the ways you can build your list, again, through a lead magnet with many different types of lead magnets. So that can be a checklist, that can be a PDF, a giveaway, online course, some type of special promotion or discount, a coupon code, a book, physical or ebook, a quiz. That's another one that's very popular. Taylor had a quiz that did very well. Webinar or online training, or an online challenge, or actually what we're on right now, a summit. So these are just some of the ways that you can build a list. There are many different ways to do it, but the main thing is to do something. You have to bring in leads on a consistent basis. You need to have your list grow on a consistent basis all the time. Ryan did my quiz funnel. We got tons of leads. Yes. So as your list grows, so should your revenue. So this should be a KPI in your business, a key performance indicator of looking at every single day, week, month, year. How much is our list growing and measuring it and so forth. You also want to nurture your email list. You do want to give value and then ask for the sale after. There's a term out there by Gary Vee, had a book on it called jab, 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 right hook. That means like give, and then ask for the sale. Give value, and then ask for the sale. Now, some people give too much value and don't ask for the sale. You definitely want to ask for the sale. And then at the same time, you don't want to just ask and just, everything in your email or text messages or communication is about selling. You definitely don't want to do that because that is an easy way to get people to unsubscribe. If you want someone to unsubscribe very fast, just keep trying to sell to them all the time. Don't provide any value. You also want to have all this automated. So you want to have an automated welcome series because as soon as someone joins your list, if it's up to us as entrepreneurs to manually send stuff, we're probably going to forget. So you want to make sure this is automated, have an automated welcome sequence anytime someone joins your list. And then you want to have regular communication with your list because it is a lot of people out there that will say, okay, I heard you. Funnel Doctor, I listened to you. I got my lead magnet. I got my list. I got my email list, got people on there, but you don't email your list. It's like, when last time you emailed them? Well, maybe like a month ago or 2-3 weeks ago, or only, once every week, once every 2 weeks. You need to have regular communication with your list. Now let's talk about how to acquire more customers and retain them longer. If y'all want to acquire more customers and retain them longer, let us know in the chat. That's what we're going to talk about right now. So the first thing is you want to have an irresistible offer. Let's be real. I'm going to be real. A lot of y'all offers suck. So that's why people aren't buying, because you don't have a good enough offer. It is very, very competitive in the marketplace. So what is going to separate you from everyone else? There are a million, whatever you offer, travel, hair care, accountants, even is getting a lot more operations people or service people or SOP people, like whatever it is, agencies, marketing agencies, it's like a million of us out here. So what is going to separate you from everyone else? And you need to be able to clearly articulate that. Also, again, focusing on customer acquisition. There are so many people that spend so much time on so much other stuff that don't matter. Oh, I got a great website, and it's beautifully designed, and my logo, and like all this other stuff. But it's like you're not really focused on selling and getting customers. That's what you need to focus on. You can also do that through JV partnerships, so joint ventures, affiliate marketing, having affiliates, a referral program, offering some type of discounts or incentives for new customers only. Also through networking events, meetups, pop-ups, whatever, are a great way to get customers, and then also having your own events for your customers to retain them. You do also want to use a dynamic CRM system, customer relationship management system, which you definitely want to use. Also using behavior-based marketing. So this is important because you have people on your list or you have customers, not everyone's the same. So we need to speak to them in different ways. There's a saying out there like 80% of your revenue is generally made up of 20% of your customers. It's like the Pareto principle. If you ever read the book 80-20 Sales and Marketing. But you need to understand, like, who are your best customers? And once we identify that, we need to speak to them differently. We need to maybe offer them special stuff or special touch points or incentives or whatever. But if you don't track this, then you don't know. I also believe you should definitely have MRR. This is the holy grail in business, is monthly recurring revenue. You definitely want to have that implemented, and you want to track and analyze your churn metrics for people that are on subscription with you or monthly services or retainer or whatever. Even product-based folks, of course, should do this. And then you want to analyze and track the metrics, like how long are people staying on average? How much are they spending? You know, when do people drop off? Why do they drop off, and so forth. Also implementing a customer feedback channel, and then maintaining a customer communication calendar. Now, you want to have regular communication via email or SMS. Some people do Slack channels. We don't personally do that for our clients. We do it internally, but that's another thing I've seen people actually do. Hold an in-person event, offer some type of unique services, start a customer retention program, be able to, again, clearly communicate your unique selling proposition. Now let's talk about paid traffic and retargeting, one of my favorite things to do. We love to retarget people. So we talk about paid traffic. Traffic is basically online media buying, and you can do that through a number of different platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, which is very popular, but we don't know how long it's going to be around. I actually was just watching something earlier. They're actually in DC, they're having a hearing with like the CEO of TikTok and like asking them all these questions like privacy and all that type of stuff. So we don't know how long TikTok is going to be here, but while it's here, it's still very effective. And this is the key. You must have enough traffic coming through your funnel to even know if it's going to work. I'm going to say that again. You must have enough traffic coming through your funnel to even see if it's going to work. I believe as entrepreneurs, we have great products and services, but the problem is not enough people know that you exist. You got to have paid traffic. You got to have paid advertising. That does not just mean social media ads. Paid traffic can be paying to be on a podcast, paying someone to get on their email list, sponsoring an event, like a lot of different ways to like pay for traffic outside of just social media ads. Social media ads are important and effective, but some people think, well, paid traffic is only Facebook ads. Like that is not true. Now, Facebook and Instagram currently are the lowest cost ways to get eyeballs on your products and services. So again, you need eyeballs and you need them cost effectively, in my opinion. So Facebook, Instagram is still my favorite platform to advertise on because it's currently the lowest cost ways to get eyeballs on your stuff. And you have to know your numbers. So knowing your numbers is extremely important. What's your cost to acquire a customer, your cost to get a lead, you know, how much you can spend based on your back end of converting people and closing people. And you definitely just have to know your numbers. So retargeting. Retargeting is a form of online advertising by which online advertising is targeted to consumers based on previous internet behavior. So if you ever went to a website to like buy a pair of shoes, maybe you added it to cart, maybe you bought it, maybe you didn't. And then it's like, they're following me all around the internet. Maybe I did it too. But you may be like, okay, well, like, how do they just know like where I'm at? It's like I'm on my feed, I go on my Gmail, they there, I'm on Instagram, they there, Facebook, they there, in my stories, like a lot of the other stuff, because they are retargeting. So they basically have like a pixel or like a cookie that they put on a landing page, a website, a funnel page that tracks activity. So if you went to the page, they can track you, they can pixel you, they can retarget you. Also, if you follow them on Instagram or Facebook, watch a video, these are all audiences we can create to basically just retarget you. Now, when it comes to retargeting and paid traffic, again, you want to make sure the Facebook pixel is installed. Again, you can create custom audiences, you can create lookalike audiences. So custom audiences are basically based on certain actions. So again, if someone went to your website, if they watched a video, if they followed you, if they got on your email list, you could upload that as a custom audience. And once we have a custom audience, then you can create a lookalike audience. So it allows you to create an audience that is similar to the one you already have. You also want to do dynamic creative ads. So that is stuff that we test, because with Facebook or Instagram, you can create like a lot of different stuff. So we test images and videos, copy, and like long form, short video, long video, different types of graphics and images and so forth. So we can give Facebook all those creatives, and then they can slice it up like a pizza and create dynamic creative ads where they create a lot of different options. You also want to do dynamic product ads if you are a product-based business. So what this is basically if you have a product-based business, if you have like a lot of products, a lot of SKUs, and someone comes into your store, your Shopify or whatever, but let's say they look at just one specific thing and you have like, I don't know, like 30 different products, but they came and they looked at just one specific thing. Now we want to retarget them just by the one thing they looked at or the one thing they added to the cart, not like 30 of the products. We just want to retarget them based on the thing that they actually looked at. So that is a dynamic product ad, which you definitely want to use as well. Again, you got to know your numbers. So you got to know, your KPIs, your COGS, all that type of stuff, your cost per lead, your acquisition costs, again, your COGS. So that is your cost of goods sold. So what does it cost to fulfill a product or service? Some people think, well, my cost of goods sold is just my products. If I'm making a product, if I'm fulfilling a product, if I'm buying a product wholesale or whatever, shipping, like that's my cost of goods sold. That only applies to product people, but it also applies to service people as well, because there's always a cost to fulfill a service. So whether that's you and your time, whether that's your team, whether you're paying people, whether it's vendors, whatever it is, there's always a cost associated with it. So you got to know your cost of goods sold to know, okay, if I sell this for 1,000, but it costs me 800 to fulfill, now I know how much I can play with to actually spend in advertising market. Let me know if that makes sense. And then again, knowing your KPIs, which are your key performance indicators. So just knowing, like, again, how much I can actually spend to acquire and spend money on ads. People ask me, how much should I spend on ads? I'm like, well, how much can you afford? How much are your fulfillment costs? How much do you have in your budget and so forth? It depends. Now, you may be saying, well, what about iOS 14? So this is something that happened about 2 years ago now, where a lot of stuff changed. So it got a lot harder to advertise when Apple did the iOS update. Now people had to agree to be tracked with ads. And it became a lot more expensive to get customers, a lot more expensive to get eyeballs, and just changed up the landscape a lot. But there are ways around it. So the first thing is now we have to do domain verification, API conversion tracking. You have to focus way more on list building and getting them off the platform into your actual funnel, where like a list that you actually own. You want to get more creative with your copy, your headlines, your content. Content is key right now. That is really going to separate you from everyone else when advertising online, is like the content. Like what you're putting out there is captivating, gets people's attention. You only got a few seconds to get their attention anyway. So you got to have captivating content. UTM parameter. This is another thing that we do in tests. Basically, that allows you to really get specific and granular, like where the traffic is coming from. If you've got a lot of different ads, emails, organic, and you have a lot of different traffic sources. and you want to know kind of which one is doing better than others, you want to put UTM tracking links on all your links. And then your backend metrics are even more important as well. So since it costs more to get a customer, now we need that customer to spend more and we need to retain them longer. We need a longer lifetime value. Which brings us to our next point, which is funnel stacking. So funnel stacking, what is funnel stacking? So funnel stacking is interesting, and it's a term that has gotten a lot more popular with all these changes. So again, like I said, it is a lot more expensive now to acquire a customer. So before, if it might have been $10, now it's $20. It's more expensive to get eyeballs, to get leads, to get clicks, like your click-through rate, like everything like that. So in the past, you may have been able to use loss leader or a low ticket item or something on the front end to get people in. So like a lot of people do free books. So I'll do a free book funnel. It's $10, just cover the shipping. We have a couple upsells along the way. And on the front end, maybe we can break even, maybe even get a little bit of profit. But now we've acquired a customer and now we can keep selling to them. We can have a lifetime value. So we were profitable on the front end. Now, since prices are increased, a lot of people now don't even break even. They go into the red on the front end. And we know as entrepreneurs, if you're bootstrapping, going in the red on the front end is very, very difficult and hard to sustain. So what you need to do is stack another funnel on the back of it. So instead of having one funnel as your front end, now you got two. So a lot of times people did book funnels and they were, like I said, break even or slightly profitable. Now, if you do a book funnel and you're in the red, now right on the back of that book funnel, we put them through a webinar. So they came through, they got my book. Now they come through my webinar. And once they come to these two funnels, now we're in the black. So I actually did this not too long ago. We had a front end funnel of like my course. It was like a $47 course. And based on what we're spending or based on the revenue from the course, we were in the red a lot. So we spent like $50,000 on this campaign. We only made like $30,000 back. But what I did was stack another funnel on the back of it was my appointment funnel. So as soon as someone bought my course for $47, we put another funnel on the back of it to have them schedule a call. And then from there, the people that scheduled the call and actually we close as clients, we were able to like 5X our ad spend just by putting another funnel on the back of it. Let me know if that makes sense. This is like high level marketing stuff, but this is stuff that I want everyone to grasp. And make sure you are funnel stacking. Now you may be saying, okay, well, this is great, but how do I know if it's working? How do I actually measure it? How do I track my metrics? How do I measure my ROI? Taylor, so this is really insightful. Yes, funnel stacking. Listen, this funnel stacking is like my favorite thing to talk about now. I love funnel stacking because that's how businesses that are smart are continually able to thrive. Especially people that like spending money on marketing and ads, and like how they sustain that is through this funnel stacking concept, to be honest. So when it comes to analyzing your funnel and knowing if it's working, just think about it. The first thing is how many people actually visited the page? How many people saw it? Sometimes people are like, oh, well, I did a funnel, but it didn't work. How many people saw it? Well, about 20 people. That's not enough. 100 people. That's not enough. You need people to actually see your offer because most people on the first time are not ready to buy and do business anyway. Then you want to look at your cost per click. So, okay, how many people saw it and what did that cost you? What was your cost per click? What was your opt-in rate if you're trying to get opt-ins or leads or whatever? What was your sales conversion rate? So out of the people that landed on the page to buy something, what percentage of them bought? What did that cost? What did it cost to get someone to actually buy from you? If you're doing sales calls, what is your close rate? So if you get 100 people on a call, on a sales call, how many of them actually become clients? You want to look at your close rate. What's your upsell conversion rate? So if you do have upsells, like I showed you with the other examples, like GoDaddy or buying airline ticket, Delta, American Airlines, whatever, Southwest. If you're doing upsells, what is your upsell close rate? How often does a customer purchase from you again? What is your sales cycle? Understanding that, the lifetime value. You need to be understanding all these metrics, and that's how you know if it's working or not. So again, how many people visited? What did it cost? How many people bought? What did it cost? How many leads did you get? What did it cost? How long did they stay? What did it cost? all these metrics you want to look at and more of how you know if your funnel is actually working or it isn't. And of course, you want to have, like I said before, a continuity or membership program, which is your MRR, your monthly recurring revenue. So definitely looking at that. How long are people staying? How much does it cost? That's another thing that's great about funnel stacking. If you have some type of MRR on the back or the front, where it's like, okay, it cost me, $100 to acquire a customer. We made $100 up front. But if this is the monthly recurring thing, now we broke even on the first. But this is something that people spend, month after month after month, and they stay on an average of 6 months. Now we know, okay, well, we can actually spend 600 to acquire a customer, still break even because it's monthly recurring and they stay on average 6 months, as opposed to if they just bought something for $100 only one time. And with all this, you want to split test. You want to split test different stuff, different audiences. You want to use some type of scarcity, some type of urgency. You also can use Hotjar or Lucky Orange. So this basically does a screen recording. So you can literally screen record your website or your landing page or funnel page and actually see what people do. So this is something that's great as well that I love to do. Using one of these tools to actually do a screen recording and really see it. If you're like, well, people aren't taking action, what's going on, record it and see. See how long they stay on the page, see what they click on, what they don't. Maybe stuff you can get rid of on the page, maybe stuff you can bring up higher on the page. When people go to a website or a funnel page, a landing page, most people don't go all the way down and scroll. So you want to have your most important stuff up front at the top, but just looking at that stuff as well. Also, again, have your UTM links all set up. And then, of course, you want to have Google Analytics. Now, as entrepreneurs, we are scientists. So you want to test, and then test again. Because most people do not give a funnel the proper time for it to work. It's like, I got a funnel, I paid somebody to build it, it ran for a couple weeks, it wasn't successful in my eyes. Oh, funnels don't work, funnels are a scam, blah, blah, blah. You actually didn't give it the proper time for it to work. So you need the proper time for it to work. You need to tweak it. You need to look at your offer, look at the price, look at the headline, look at the audience. There's a lot of different things you want to look at and test. Also, again, you got to have enough traffic, you got to have a good offer, and you want to analyze and make adjustments. So these are key. Now, in our agency, we have literally a winning, funnel page checklist where we look at everything and we know what a funnel page, a winning one consists of. So here are all the things that we check off. So the first thing is a headline that calls out your avatar or a sub headline that speaks to the pain points. Video is king. So a lot of people are like, I don't want to do a video, my hair not done, I'm not ready, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, you just want to miss out on money. You definitely want to have some type of video on the page. You want to make it easy for people to buy or opt in. Again, I go to so many different pages and I got to click too many times to just give you my information. It's like, sometimes you really just want to buy it. It's like, why I got to keep clicking and scrolling and all that type of stuff. Make it easy for people to buy or opt in. You want to have your social proof. So if you have media features or outlets or places you've been featured, put that on there. Reviews or testimonials. People don't just want to hear what you have to say about your business. People want to hear what other people have to say. So other past clients or customers, people you work with, organizations, whatever it is. And then sales copy that speaks to your avatar, and something that's underrated is your aesthetic design. So you still want it to look good. Even order forms, I ain't putting my credit card on a janky order form. So just an order form alone that looks janky, people are not ready to buy. But just make sure it's on brand, it looks good, logos and all that type of stuff, and just really looks appealing for people to actually want to buy. That's all we got. That's the last slide. Be happy to take any questions that anyone has.
All right, that was so good and so much information. I have some questions, but anybody have any questions, drop them down here in the chat. I feel like I see a hand raised. Okay, let me unmute you so that you can ask your question. Is it letting you do it?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, this is good. My question is, if you are intimidated by ads, because Facebook Manager just can feel so intimidating, what would you say is a good place to start?
Honestly, hiring someone.
Okay. That was the next question.
To be honest, because yeah, just because like I'm big on just finding experts to fulfill what you need done so you can get to the money faster. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I'll, of course, give tips and stuff, which you can look.
Mhm.
But that'll be my first thing is like, just get with an expert. Don't waste time and money trying to figure it out and spinning your wheels. Because while you spend all that time trying to figure it out, you could have got with an expert and got your result way faster. And money loves
Mhm.
speed. As business owners, like we got to get to the money faster. So that's the
Mhm.
first thing.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, there are tons of trainings out there. Like I have trainings, there are a lot of stuff out there. There are a lot of books. Facebook has a
Mhm.
lot of resources and stuff out there.
Mhm.
So just kind of, look at that stuff, look at all the resources out there. Think about your overall strategy. I'd say it's
Mhm.
important. And like what you really want to run ads to. Ads are not a substitute for something that people don't already want to buy. You already have product market fit. Ads are designed to amplify something. So if it's
Mhm.
like, I'm already, and what type of business do you have?
Book publishing.
Publishing company?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, so in that case, it would be like, hey, I already get, referrals, already, do good from, however you get people in. It's like I already got my proof of concept. Now I just need to get it in front of more people. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
doing some ads or whatever your process is where people they schedule a call with you, they know what you offer, and then you close them, whatever it is, just using ads and traffic to just get more visitors on what's already working.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any
That's
more
a good
questions?
question.
That was a good question. Anybody else have any other questions? If you like to come off mute, you can come off mute. All right, so I have a question. My question is the mindset around, running ads, right? So if somebody is saying, well, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I don't know, and they are in the beginning phases and they have a small budget, what do you recommend them to do? Do you recommend them to run them or to not start running the ads? Like, what should they do?
It depends. Yeah, it depends. I think it really goes back to the proof of concept. So
Mm,
it's like, are you like, do you have enough data? Do you have enough revenue where like people want this?
mhm.
And if so, then I would say definitely run them because you just need more traffic and more eyeballs and that type of stuff. If you're still in the beginning stages where like figuring out your business model or figuring out your offering and if your avatar and that stuff, I would figure that stuff out first before I just spend some money on ads. That makes sense.
That makes sense. My other question is, what ads have you seen perform the best? Is that like static posts, videos? Like which ones are typically best? Because I know we see.
Yeah, it really depends. Because the first thing is it depends on the type of business. Because
Okay.
one ad for one type of business is not going to necessarily be good for other ones. You know what I'm saying? So like products, service, different types of services, different types of customers, different types of products, hair care versus skincare versus merchandise versus clothing. You know what I mean? It's like so many nuances to it. I mean, generally people say video works better, but not all the time. It's so much stuff that we test where it's like images do better, graphics do better. What I think is very effective is videos with customers talking about their experience with your product or service.
Mm,
Regardless of what the product is, what the service is, what you offer, if you can have a video, a genuine video of someone talking about the experience they had with that, I think that is definitely effective no matter what business you have.
yeah, I can definitely see that because a lot of people want to like understand the results and see that other people have experienced it. And I think especially with running ads. So how do you think people can start building trust with people through ads? I know it's a challenging space, so probably a difficult question to answer, but what are some things that people can do?
Just keep showing up in front of them. I think that's the main thing. Is like the omnipresence. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if I see you all the time, like, oh my God, I know this person and I don't. Yeah, people tell me that
Right,
all the time. It's like,
right.
I really just think it's like the omnipresence and talking about their pain points and their challenges, like how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I get on, I don't just see your ad and I see you, but like you're talking about something I'm really always experiencing. You know what I'm saying? So in your case, like, I know you ain't got your SOPs in order. I know your operations is a mess. I know your team members ain't doing what they're supposed to do. It's like, you know what I mean? So if I keep seeing that and then like, I literally just got off a call with my team and they ain't doing what they're supposed to do. And I see your ad, I'm like, yo, like she just literally like spoke exactly to what I'm experiencing. Like, I like this person and I keep seeing her and like whatever. So I think that part, for real, for real.
Got you. Yeah, I definitely agree because those type of ads bring me in, and I'm like, dang. For instance, I might be like, I was just talking about cleaning my house today, and then I see a cleaning ad, and they talk about tired of cleaning your house, don't want to do it.
Right.
And I'm like, oh wait, let me buy, right? And I think the other part too, and you can give your input on this. Sometimes what I see, and I don't know if this is the best practice, and you can enlighten everybody here. But people run ads and they neglect to produce content because they got ads running. What do you think about that?
Like organic content.
Yeah, they stop posting organic content. You go to their page and they ain't posted in 7 months.
Yeah, I think you definitely got to do both. I always go back and forth with the organic folks. I'm team paid ads, but the real answer is you need both. You do need both because if someone does see your ad, they want to see your organic stuff. They want to see you have a presence, and then organic helps the paid as well because you can kind of test what already kind of work organically, and then just put some traffic behind it, some paid money behind it. So the real answer is you need to do both.
Yeah, and I think because I feel like that builds trust in a way too, because if I go to somebody's page who's running ads and they haven't posted in like the past 8 months, I'm kind of like, are they still in business? Like, what's happening? And then I'm wondering why aren't they producing content? Is it because they're making so much money from their ads? Or is it that they're relying so much on the ads that they're kind of like, forget it?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I see somebody in the chat saying good stuff. Yes, this was really good. I hope it gave you guys some perspective too. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them. I do like that funnel stacking thing you said though. I was like, "Ooh, this is good." So I'll have to learn more about that at another time because I know it goes deep.
Yeah, do it. I just gave you a little snippet of it. It definitely goes deep, but it's definitely like effective, like for real.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Ryan? I mean, y'all, I told y'all this is an all-star lineup, and these people are busy and they have things going on. So if you can get your answers to any questions you have about anything right now, don't be shy. Definitely make sure you answer because they are here to answer why you have them here, because I will let you know that it does come with an investment if y'all trying to reach out after. All right. So if we don't have any questions, thank you so much for being here. I'm sure everybody else here appreciates it, and I know they probably taking notes and gonna take some stuff back. So thank you.
Of course, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Excited to speak with everyone, and definitely got to do it again.
Yes, for sure.